Hello and welcome back to Levels Final Fantasy here on YouTube. So I'm really appreciative of you guys liking the tutorials. I decided to make more. Today we're going to be doing multi-breaking weapons in Final Fantasy Dissidia Opera Omnia. Now if you noticed, I do actually have a professional backdrop now. It's not just a cluttered bad desk, so I do apologize about that, but I hope you guys like this setup a little bit better, makes it a little bit easier for you to at least watch me and for me to explain things. I'm going to be explaining a lot of things in this tutorial. I'm going to do my best to keep it as simple as possible, but I do understand it might not be as easy as that, and there might be some confusing terms or things along those lines. I'm going to do my best to make it as simple as possible, but if you do need more clarification, or if there's terms you don't understand or need help with, please feel free to leave me a comment down below, and I'll make sure to get that done for you guys. Now without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to teach you how to multi-break weapons. So what is multi-breaking? Well, I'm going to explain it to you right now. Multi-breaking allows you to enhance a weapon beyond its limits. This allows you to have a weapon at max stats and get the passive from that said weapon. Now this goes down to what we call 15 CP and 35 CP weapons. Don't worry, I will explain that in a bit, but essentially it's allowing you to take a skill from another weapon, apply it to a character, but then have an even better weapon equipped. So you're not missing out on anything, which is pretty nice to have. Now, with better weapons, they come with better passives, usually speaking. And you always want to equip those ones that, you know what, the weapon's not that great, but it gives you a great skill, so this is what multi-breaking is. So now that you know what multi-breaking is, I'm going to tell you how to actually do it. So with multi-breaking, it's essentially taking the same copy of a weapon and merging it into itself 3 times. So you get one weapon, you get 3 more copies of it, put it together. That creates a super weapon, I guess you can call it. That is then multi-broken to its highest form, can't go any higher than that, and then you get the passive skill for it, which is pretty nice. Usually most characters have 2 to 3, possibly 4 weapons. It depends on the character, the release, and what came out with that. So this can vary and change depending on character. Just keep that in mind. Weapons can be equipped in 3 ways. You can either get them through a special event, you can either get them through draws, or you get them from the token shop. Either way you can grab a weapon. Now most of the good weapons can only be done through draws, which are character draws, usually associated with the event going on. Unless it's a story character, then usually you'll get the 15 CP weapon for free under the events tab in a previous tutorial I did. Or when you get the character in the story mode, you unlock the character plus the weapon. Usually you get it as an event sort of item. Okay, so now you've multi-broken your weapon. Now how do you get that passive to stay onto the character? I did show this in a previous video, but I'm going to quickly explain it and then also show you on screen how to do it again in this tutorial. So now that weapon is multi-broken and you've gotten the desired passive, you can now equip it through your character panel. Once it's equipped in your character panel, your character will now have that in battle and they'll be able to use it. Now, let's say you don't remember what passive you've already multi-broken. There's actually a little check mark right in the bottom little corner of the actual logo of the weapon. If you see that check mark, that means you've already acquired that passive, meaning you don't have to multi-break the weapon again. As a matter of fact, you can actually sell it for a valuable resource called Power Stones. Power Stones can be used to upgrade weapons, actually to get them out of the multi-breaking state. Now what I mean by that is that if you have 4 power tokens, you can put them onto a weapon and that counts as a multi-break. So you don't actually need the weapon again and again and again and again. If you have enough power stones or resources to level up the weapon to that point, you can then multi-break it, which is kind of cool. Also, if there's a certain weapon you want, let's say you did a draw and you only got, for example, the current draw right now is Zack, Ignis, and Noctis, and you only got Zack's 35 weapon, but you didn't get his 15 CP weapon. Well, fear not. You can actually go into the token menu system there, which again I showed in a previous video. You can go down to weapon tokens, and when you're in the weapon token section, you can actually search for Zack's 15 CP and get it. And as I just explained, the power stones, you don't need to buy that weapon 4 times. Just buy it once. So I hope that explanation was a little more clear on how to multi-break weapons, and I hope it gets you on the right path to making your characters in the most optimal build. Now, just as a side note here, some weapons I recommend to multi-break right off the bat are usually the 35 CP and the 70 CP weapons, otherwise known as EX weapons and 35. There's a couple of terms that people will use and throw around on the forums, as well as just in tutorials like the one I'm doing right now. So do keep that in mind that there's several ways to say this, but overall, just knowing that 35, 70, 15 CP, generally speaking, are the ones you should multi-break, or at least focus on the most. Anyways, I hope this was a good tutorial, explained a few things that are a little complicated in multi-break, breaking. And of course, if there's anything I missed, please leave a comment below. Now, since you're already on this video, if you want to go ahead and click like, I don't actually know where it's going to be, I'm just pointing randomly, but if you want to go ahead and click it, I'd really appreciate it, as well as to subscribe if you want more tutorials. I will be making more, and who knows, maybe I'll even get a better setup. Not a paper wall this time. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one. I appreciate it.